What's going on, Gold Chasers? I'd like to welcome you to my office. All right, if you didn't know, I'm an IT, and I'm also a photographer on the side and a content creator. I'm trying to do a little bit of all things. You come to my office, one of the first things you will notice is the pictures on the wall. And the pictures of the wall are pictures that I've taken. I haven't taken any in a little while, but I love to put my art on the walls so it can give me inspiration to keep going. Right now, my focus is more content driven than photography, but I can still break out the camera and take some good portraits. So if you're in need of some good portraits, let me know. All right, but besides that, you'll also see, my desk and how I have that set up, and I do have a sit stand desk for work, and it's just a good little setup in here. All right, so before we get into the topic of today, I want you to check out my gym video. Now, a lot of times I post my gym videos on TikTok. So I wanted to add those, incorporate those into my little vlog videos. So we'll get into my gym workout and then we'll get on to the topic. All right. So when it comes to the gym today, I ran about 3.75 miles. So I use an app called Runner for Weight Loss. I know I've talked about it numerous times, but it's something that really helps me out when it comes to running, just cycling on and off from running. Outside of that, today was a chest day. I lifted heavy for my chest. I'm trying to increase my max. With me losing over 170 pounds, my max has gone way down. So now I'm trying to get it back up. I'm trying to lift my weight. So what I lifted on the video was about 245. I weigh about 267. So I'll be excited once I'm lifting my own weight as my regular reps. So that's the goal. But outside of that, then I did the flies, and I ended the video trying to do this push up where you push up from the ground onto the weights. And I did make it, but it was extra sloppy. So it's something that I will continue to practice until I can get it looking real nice and clean. But yeah, hopefully you like that. All right, so for today's topic is community. So for me, community is a huge thing because community, um, you know, I go by the saying, each one teach one. Um, I've done a lot of events, a lot of Spartans, a lot of different events, and getting there and seeing the people, the camaraderie, the community, the acceptance, regardless the size you are, is something that you just can't beat. A lot of people who see me do events and all that, they'll sit up there and be like, "Oh, I can't do that. I can't do that's too hard." But the reality of it is, you don't really know how hard it is until you get out there and do it. And if you're anything like me, once you see how hard or how easy it is, that motivates you to want to work on the things that you didn't do too great at and get better for the next event. So, um, when it comes to community, you will find that motivation, that drive. You'll find that help. It's so weird how when it comes to fitness and a lot of things, really, you sometimes make the best friends in the struggle. When you are trying to finish a 5K and you don't have anything left in the tank, and then somebody just comes alongside of you out of nowhere, an angel, and they talk you to the finish line. And I mean the feeling is just it's just great. And it's like when I see someone who is struggling, I want to help. I want to because I've been there. I have been I've been there. So I want to share that feeling of success with everyone. So yeah, you get the right people around you, and your chances of failing um, decrease, I'm sure, by a lot. And even if you don't run all the way to the finish line, to have somebody there who uh, cares about your well-being and wants to see you win is just it's monumental. And you might make it to the next event and see that same person, and now you like, oh, I'm gonna run all the way through to that finish line, and they're gonna see that I didn't give up on myself during that time, that break between events. They're gonna see that I didn't give up on myself. And so it's so many things that can go great with having the right community. All right, so I would love to say this journey is going to be fun, but there will be a lot of times that you find yourself alone. And it's hard, it's hard to do a lot of the things by yourself. But you have to figure out what's more important to you. Is it important that you do what you need to do to get your health back together, or is it important to have so and so there with you, and if you don't succeed, they don't succeed, and if you succeed, they succeed. Not every time is everyone going to want to do the things that you want to do, and that's just the long and the short of it. You can only control one person, and that's you. So if you want to go out there and take on a Spartan, or go do a hike a mountain or whatever, and you're waiting for a group to do it with, you might not ever do it or get it done. So my advice is always to you put yourself out there. You can find a community. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I go to Spartan events. It's so many people of all shapes and sizes, and they're so accepting. And then you can take that and then find your group. But at the end of the day, it's going to be a lot of times when you're in the gym, um, and you got nobody. You might have an app to track your workouts and do all that stuff, and hopefully you got a good pair of earbuds. But yeah, you won't have anybody there. And at the end of the day, no one can save you. You got to do it for you. Um, I love having a community around me of like-minded people, but at the same time, I've learned to do it by myself. I've learned to separate myself from everything and everyone and make sure that I get it done. And it's not because I like doing it. It's not something that I wake up and I'm like, yes, I get to run, 3.75 miles. Oh, yeah, no. I do it because I can. I do it because I know what it feels like when you can't do it. I know that feeling all too well. I know what it feels like to not be able to tie your shoes without, sweating and breathing hard. I know all of those things. I know what it feels like to hike up a mountain 30 minutes and then go, lose focus, gain weight, all that. And then it takes you an hour and a half to do the same thing that you did a year before. I know these feelings and they suck. So I have taken control of what I want the end goal to be. I am a master of my fate. So in order for me to get to that finish line, I have to show up. You don't have to show up. Your friends don't have to show up. You have to show up. And if you don't show up, then it's not going to get done. And you're not going to get anywhere you want to go. And all you'll end up doing is complaining about, oh, this hurts, that hurts. And I'm not getting the results I want. But you can't get the results you want. Let me start that over. You can't get the results you want if you don't put the work in that matches the results you want to get. It's impossible. So, like I said, it's going to be a lot of days that you're going to be out there by yourself. You got to enjoy those days. You got to take those days in, and eventually you'll get used to it. You will get used to it, And then when people want to work out with you, then you're going to be like, can you shut up? Because I got my song on or I got my motivation on or whatever. I don't want to hear you talk. We can talk after, you know what I'm saying? But it take a while to get there. But once you get there, you be like, yeah, I like this. All right, and lastly, I don't want to beat a dead horse, but consistency. Consistency is key. Consistency is key. Showing up. You got to show up all the time, really. You know what I'm saying? Like I have made it a part of my life to make sure that I get to the gym on days that I want to and days I don't want to. I have also made sure that I have added some rest days in there. Now, I've talked about it on another video, but um, rest days are tricky. You know, for me, it took me a long time before I felt comfortable enough to take a rest day. Now, anybody who's on this fitness journey, especially in the beginning, um, rest days are hard, like because you're scared. You know, I was scared. I was scared because I know that one rest day can turn into a year of rest. You know, it can turn into 2 years of rest. And I know that speaking from experience. I know that it's so much easier to not work out than it is to work out. But if I want to be in shape, if I want like, I would go to medical and get my blood drawn and see the pre-diabetic, my cholesterol and all of these things high. If I want to make those changes, I can't do it if I continue to do the same stuff, which is not working out, eating bad, doing all that. So you got to do it. You have to do it. It's really no other option. Going into the whole community thing, it is nice to have some people there that you can lean on and can show up with and show up for who are consistent. If they have the same goals, what I find is nobody wants to be the person who holds everyone back. So even if you don't want to go to the gym, if your friend calls you and is like, hey, you ready? You kind of got to say yeah, because you don't want to be that person that's like, oh, here we go again. He ain't going to go to the gym with us. You don't want to be that person. Everyone wants to make sure that they're in everybody's good graces. And even on good days and bad days, everybody is wanting to make sure that they aren't that person. And so, you just gotta you have to do what you gotta do to make sure you're not that person. Now, one thing that I don't like when it comes to fitness and all of that is having, you have to have the right people. You have to have the people that can encourage you to show up and not piss you off per se. One reason why I'm not so hard on people is because I don't like when people are hard on me. I don't like when, you know, I decide I want to eat French fries and somebody be like, "Hey, I thought you was trying to lose weight." You know what I'm saying? Like that pisses me all the way off because you paying attention to me, but you ain't doing nothing either. But I told you that I wanted to lose weight, and so now you're holding me accountable, and it just sucks. Or people will try to take you off your grind. Um, for some reason, people really like the old you, the you that drank a lot, the you that ate a lot, the you that when you went to restaurants, you ate the biggest burger with the biggest bunch of fries and drank, you know, 10 beers and acted a fool. They like that person. They don't want to lose that person. So when you make that decision that that person's got to go, some people don't like that and they will do whatever they can in their power to bring that person back. And those are people that you have to either have a come to Jesus with, sit down and talk and be like, that's not it. This is what I'm going to do. And with that, you have to stick to it, because they're waiting for you to fail. There's so many people out there waiting for you to fail. Make them wait. Make them wait until the casket drop. Make them wait because you know you made the decision. This is what you have full control over this. Full control over this. And it's not so much you have full control over going to the gym and whatever. You have full control over what tools you use to get to where you want to be. You have full control. So you have to find out what it is that it's going to take to get here, whether it be surgery, GLP-1, pre-workout, fasting, whatever. You are in total control over your body. Figure it out, and then you got to move in that direction. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't let anyone knock you off your grind or knock you off your hustle. This is you. You have the control. So in closing, um, again, like community is very important. I encourage you all to go out and find a community, or if you have a community of friends who've talked all the stuff about, hey, we need to, it's 2026, new year, new me. We need to lose weight. We need to stop drinking. We need to stop eating all this fatty stuff. Be the one that says, okay, we're gonna do this. And at the end of the day, like I said, if they don't want to, you need to do it. Eventually, they'll catch on. When they start seeing you losing weight, feeling good, clothes fit nice, wearing the things you want to wear, they'll fall in line. Don't let them knock you off your hustle. You get them on theirs so that you all are out there winning. And again, at the end of the day, you're the priority. You're the priority. So if they don't want to, they don't want to. You know what I'm saying? And another thing, when it comes to tools, don't let anyone tell you that the tool you're using is cheating. And I don't say that because I use the GLP-1. I say that because there are a lot of people who have dogged out surgeries and dogged out the GLP-1s and dogged out all the different ways to lose weight. And then they got on those programs and lost the weight. So, and they're taking control of what they want to do, but then they're taking your control away, or they're taking you away from what you want to do. And you could have made it to that goal a whole lot sooner if you would have just did what you wanted to do and not listen to them. So don't let that be a roadblock or whatever to you getting to where you want to go. Like, you do the research, you talk to your physician, you talk to the right people to get you where you need to be, and use what tools work for you, because they can't save you. Nobody can save you. They can't save you. So you need to figure out what you need to do to save yourself. All right, so let's get a quick recap in here. All right, so community. I encourage you all to find a community, find a place you can go to be around like-minded people, to get out there and work out and find the fun in it, whether it be going to the gym, running outside, doing whatever. Whatever it is, the tool. If it's a GLP-1, find a group of people who are using a GLP-1. I advise, if you're using a GLP-1, that you also work out, because there's a lot of people that don't, and the results may vary. And if you want to give yourself the best opportunity to succeed and to have the best results, then you have to do the things that will give you those great results. And working out, lifting weights, building muscle will help you to have a better result than someone who does nothing and just takes a shot, in my opinion. Now, I don't know how true it is, because it's like I said, results may vary. But to me, I feel like it's best if you combine it with the gym. So, but again, don't let anyone tell you or discourage you from whatever tools you try to use, as long as they're safe and you ain't gonna like die or nothing trying to, do something. Like, don't go on a 365-day fast where you don't eat for a year. Like, no, that ain't healthy. But I mean, if you are doing something that is recommended by your physician or approved by your physician, then don't let somebody say, "Oh, you cheating," you cheating doing a GLP-1, you cheating having weight loss surgery, you cheating doing keto, you cheating, like, because you always gonna have critics. You're always gonna have haters. You're always gonna have critics. You're always gonna have somebody there that did it better, did it a different way, and but it's not about them. It's about you. It's about what you want to do to get where you need to go. And there's so many different choices of things that you can choose from. But as you get older, you got to find the one and stick to it, I know the deal. I have done so many things, from Weight Watchers to keto to paleo to fasting, intermittent fasting. I've done so many things, and the GLP-1 seemed to be what worked for me, and I am truly grateful for that. You can call me a cheater if you want to, but you can also come see me at the gym, where I'm there lifting weights, running, and doing my thing to make sure that I don't take this opportunity for granted, you know. So, yeah. And with that being said, if you're out there doing your thing, keep chasing those goals. All right. Embrace the pain, enjoy the process, and respect the gains. And I will see you at the next video.